Hey, good afternoon, fans, and welcome to St. Augustine, Florida. I'm Kyle McCarthy. I'll be taking you on this journey today of women's lacrosse. It's Gulf South Conference play between the Lander Bearcats and, of course, your Flagler Saints. Flagler, entering play here at 11-2, coming off a shellacking of Shorter last weekend where they won 24-3. Had a lot of different girls get involved in that one. On the other side, Lander 1-0 in conference play. They were able to beat Mount Olive back on March 26th. Both teams sit atop of the Gulf South Conference at 1-0. Flagler coming into play ranked 11th in the country. So should be a good matchup between the two sides. Flagler makes their way onto the field. Now Lander will join them. Starters for Lander, it's going to be Lauren Condon, Alyssa Sukan, Emmy Peterson, Haley Von Aken, Mickey Burnett, Tiana Hall, Autumn Husky, Gabrielle Cantarella, Callaway Umstead, Izzy Olson, Ella Benson, and finally in goal, Kara Crosby. On the other side for the Saints, hey, Lexi Morton is back on the field, the leader for the Saints offense. Carly Teeple will join her on attack, as well as Tristan Usher. We'll have Kaylin Figueres on defense, joined by Jen Seabach and Eva Stein. And at midfield, Carly LaFerrier, Ella Pinder, as well as Allie Miller. And we are just about set to get started here between Flagler and Lander. It's Allie Miller at the center circle for the Saints. On the other side for the Bearcats, it's Haley Von Aken. And the officials get them set. We are just about ready here. And we are underway. The first draw falls right into the waiting stick of Ella Pinder, her first draw control of the day. Works it up to Carly LaFerrier, and the Saints will set up their first offensive possession of the day. So we mentioned the Saints were without Lexi Morton for a while. She was nursing a foot injury. She is back on the field. Before she missed time, had 35 points. That was leading the team until Carly Teeple and Tristan Usher eclipsed her totals. They're both sitting at 38 apiece. Pinder dodging defended very nicely there. That was Ella Benson. Here comes Morton, bringing it on in. Passes to Madison Daziel, who buries one bottom left. And welcome back Lexi Morton as she assists Madison Daziel for the first Flagler goal of the contest. It's such a difference having Morton back on the field. You see her able to create space immediately. And he didn't think Daziel had the angle there, but she led her beautifully over on top of the crease. And Daziel buries that one. She's up to now 7 goals on the season. So only about 40 seconds into the game, Flagler already out in front 1-0. We'll do it again from the center circle. Once again, it's Von Aken and Allie Miller. Miller getting a lot of support from the Saints sideline. And this one goes up. Looks like LaFerrier's going to get to it. She will. It's Carly LaFerrier, defended very closely by Autumn Husky. And Husky's able to force her out of bounds. The first turnover of the day. And Husky will take it the other way. Oh, an errant pass there. She was looking for Ella Benson. But Lauren Condon was able to corral it. So the Bearcats will retain possession. So the Bearcats working it behind the cage. It's Alyssa Sukan, defended closely by Molly Sloan. Sukan works it back up top. And the player to watch for Lander has the ball right now. Number 15, Emmy Peterson, the Gulf South Conference Player of the Week, the leading scorer for the Bearcats. She takes it inside, and that one is deflected. A nice save by Ribbonera. And they're going to call a hold on LaFerrier, so possession will stay with Lander. And we need to reset the shot clock, so it is back to 60. All right, and we resume action here. Mickey Burnett moves it on up to Ella Benson. Benson up top to Condon. Now dodging left. That's Sukan. Sukan forced out, defended beautifully by Carly LaFerrier. And she'll work it out to Emmy Peterson. Peterson, oh, she had a cutter there. That time it was Izzy Olsen, unable to connect. And Jen Seebach picks it up and will take it the other way. Peterson trying to force her out of bounds. She is unable to do so, and Seebach gets it down to Morton, and the Saints will once again set up the offense. Usher looking inside. She has Teeple, who shoots and scores. So the Saints trying to get set, but Teeple decided, hey, it's a great time to cut. And Tristan Usher, always looking to feed, is able to connect with her. And the Saints now have their second goal of the day, thanks to Carly Teeple, assisted by Tristan Usher. So they remain tied as the leaders in points for the Saints. That's the 13th assist on the year for Usher, 32nd goal for Carly Teeple. She leads the Saints in that category. Usher as well leads in assists. So just like that, not even 3 minutes into the game, it's already 2-0, the Saints on top. It'll be Miller and Von Aken once again on the draw. And taking some time to get set. And now they are. And the draw is up. Miller able to corral it in her stick. She will take it herself, hustling down the field inside the restraining box. Defers to Tristan Usher. And Usher will work it behind the cage. So a good start to the game for Allie Miller on the draws. First 2 times working it back to her midfielders. That time decides to simply take it herself. Here's Maddie Hartsock. Works it behind the cage to Sydney Oniga. Oniga thought about shooting. Backs it on out behind the cage. Here's Usher off the assist from Oniga. A quick goal there. Only took about 30 seconds. Oniga assists Tristan Usher for her first goal of the day. And just like that, it's 3-0. The Saints are on top. So the Saints riding high off the win against Shorter. As we mentioned, they won that game 24-3, and it was over the minute it began. They're hoping for a little more of the same in this one. Already 3-0 and still 11:37 to go in the first quarter. This time we'll see Claudia Tanksley on the draw for the Saints. First time we've said her name today. On the outside, it's Molly Sloan and Caitlin Traynor. This one goes back. Traynor has a beat on it. Picks up the ground ball and quickly moves it up to Molly Sloan, who dropped it for a second but corrals it. And Sloan works it up to Lexi Morton, who gets it behind the cage to Teeple and Usher. So the Saints dominating on the draws early on. And that's led to all of their goals. And, Hartsock lost possession there. Ella Benson able to pick up the ground ball. She'll work it back to Autumn Husky, who will go on the clear. A nice trail check from Carly Teeple. And Teeple picks it up herself. A ground ball for Carly Teeple. And just as quickly as they lose it, Flagler regains possession. It's Barbara Tucker up top as well. Tucker coming in. Works it to Daisiel. Now a curling Usher can't corral that pass. The ball goes up. And Maddie Hartsock able to pick up the ground ball and retain possession. Usher inside to Teeple. Teeple shoots and scores! It's Sydney Oniga feeding Carly Teeple for her second goal of the contest. And just like that, 4.5 minutes in, it's already 4-0 Saints. And Oniga just got enough space up top of the goal circle. And Teeple, always cutting, looking for her opportunities, was wide open, threw a fake, and buried it low. So Coach Bob DeSchill for the Lander Bearcats says he's seen enough. He takes his first time out of the game. Hey, before we go to timeout here, I want to thank some of our presenting sponsors. First, Hybrid Design, advertising, graphic design, and marketing only at Hybrid Design. And how about Evans Automotive? Quality work at a fair price. Can't beat that. We're going to take our first time out of the game here with the score 4-0, Flagler on top. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in a second. All right, so out of the timeout here, you hear the beautiful, sweet, soothing voice of Kenny Loggins serenading this crowd. Once again, if you're just joining us, Flagler jumped out to a quick 4-0 lead, and we're only 4.5 minutes into the game. We've seen 2 goals from Carly Teeple and 1 apiece from Tristan Usher and Madison Daziel. So the Saints flying high early on. We'll see the first change on the draw for the Bearcats. It'll be Alyssa Sukan manning the draw for the Bearcats. Allie Miller back into the game for the Saints. Ella Pinder and Carly LaFerrier outside the circle for the Saints as well. Oh, and we're going to get a false start here. As clear as day, Alyssa Sukan went early, and Ella Pinder will pick it up. And it's another draw control for the Saints, and they set up the offensive possession once again. So Usher works it up top. It's Daziel, now Oniga. Oniga looking like she wants to dodge. Defended by Annabeth Baker. Flips it to Daziel. Daziel sweeping. Works it on out to LaFerrier and down to Lexi Morton. And now it's Carly Teeple behind the cage. Teeple puts it in her left hand. Works it back to Usher. Ooh, tight pass there. But Usher's able to pick up the ground ball. This time it's Pinder. Spinning back to her right, works it out to Daziel. Oh, the Flagler sideline wanted a shooting space. No matter, Daziel able to work it on out. Pinder inside to Oniga, who works it out to Morton. Morton tried to get it to Usher right in front of the cage, unable to connect, and it's picked up by Tiana Hall, who works it back to Kara Crosby. So a huge stop there for the Bearcats out of the timeout. You had to think 5-0 this early, while not insurmountable, is a tough hole to dig yourself out of. So Cancerella works it over to the offense. Once again, it's Izzy Olsen with the ball up top. Works it down low to Sukan. Defended nicely by Molly Sloan, pushing her down the alley behind the cage. And Sukan will work it back up top to Olsen, and this time it's Lauren Condon. Now Ella Benson flips it to Peterson. Peterson, once again, the player to watch on offense for the Bearcats. Great defense here by Eva Stein, not giving her an inch. Ferrier guarding Olsen. Olsen just has to flip it out to Sukan. Boy, the Flagler defense has been suffocating so far. And Sukan loses it ever so briefly, but Izzy Olsen able to pick up the ground ball. Olsen shoots and sneaks one right past Ribadenera. And the Bearcats are on the board here. It's now 4-1. So a bit of a broken play there. The Saints defense was phenomenal, able to force what was almost a turnover by Alyssa Sukan, but Izzy Olsen picks up the ground ball and decides she's just going to do it herself. And for Olsen, that's her 20th goal on the season. She's tied for third in that category with Alyssa Sukan for the Bearcats. So we're back at the center circle. This time it's Claudia Tanksley back on the draw for the Saints. Looks like she's working against Alyssa Sukan. She is. Then Tanksley wins it herself. Beautifully done. Gets it past restraining. And she will defer to Caitlin Trainer, who gets it down low to Morton and now Teeple behind the cage. .7:48 to play in the first quarter. Flagler with the offense set up. This time it's Maddie Hartsock working it down to Lexi Morton. Morton looked like she almost lost her stick there, but able to move it over to Sydney Oniga, who spins. Works it to Barb Tucker. Tucker spinning, somehow able to beat 4 Bearcat defenders, weaving her way through traffic, throws a fake, and finishes it right past the ear of Kara Crosby. And once again, Flagler has a 4-goal lead. It's now 5-1. And we've seen a lot more of Barbara Tucker the last few contests. She nets her 4th goal of the season, and she is so effective dodging downhill. You figured one check was going to get the ball out of her stick there, but she's able to maintain control, once again working through 4 Bearcat defenders and able to finish past Crosby. So once again, it's Claudia Tanksley on the draw here. It looks like it's Von Aken for the Bearcats back in. And this one goes directly to Izzy Olsen, so the first draw control to go to Lander on the game. It's a huge break for them. And the Bearcats set up the offense as Peterson works on the near side. This time it's Mickey Burnett. Oh, a beautiful check by Jen Seabach, who catches it out of the air. Seabach spins back. And they're going to call a foul there. So Flagler retains possession. This time Ribadenera will work it up to Molly Sloan. And Sloan's just going to take it herself, works it up to Maddie Hartsock. Now a quick little fast break here. Hartsock taking it in. She'll work it out to Madison Daziel, who loses position momentarily. But with no one around her, picks it up and works it on down to Tristan Usher. Usher looking for cutters. You see Teeple there. She had a step. Usher didn't have the angle to get it for her. Carly Teeple, so effective, always cutting, and there she is again. Oh, and it's saved. It looked like it was the hip of Crosby as it almost bounced past her. It got past the stick, but just landed right on the inside leg of Crosby. So a nice break for the Bearcats as Carly Teeple has been a force to be reckoned with. And how about Autumn Husky taking it herself on the clear? And Lander will once again set up the offense. They're trying to work it through Emmy Peterson, but Eva Stein not giving her an inch. Sloan defending Sukan. Sukan looks up top, finds Kylie Fergala. Fergala works it down to Peterson. Almost an errant pass, but a nice job by Peterson to catch it. Works it across the crease. Nice save by Ribadenera. Burnett thought she had a quick stick, but Ribadenera standing tall, able to deflect that one backward. Lander does retain possession, but a great save there for Lauren Ribadenera. This time bringing it up is Condon. She's going to have to work it back up top. Now it's Peterson. Peterson backing her way down. So strong. And beautifully placed with the left hand on the off-stick hip of Ribadenera. So Lander able to stick with Flagler. It's now 5-2 with 4:55 to go here in the first quarter. So we mentioned Emmy Peterson, the Gulf South Conference Player of the Week. For Emmy, that's goal number 35 on the season. She's 1 point away from 60, which would lead all players in this game. Nonetheless, we'll have another draw from Allie Miller and Haley Von Aken. Miller has gotten the better of her throughout this contest. This one goes up. LaFerrier tries to catch it with one hand. Played nicely by Gabrielle Cantarella, so another draw control going to Lander. Starting to correct things on that end. Izzy Olsen dropped it for a second, able to pick it back up. And once again, Lander will set up the offense. So they work it to Peterson on the wing. Her and Fergala playing a two-man game down there. Now they work it to the far side to Izzy Olsen. Olsen defended beautifully by Caitlin Traynor. Sukan trying to get the angle there. Molly Sloan does not let her get anything. And Sukan tries to work it inside. The ball rattles around a bit. And they're going to call a foul on Lander, so it will be Saints ball here as Caitlin Traynor picks it up. Oh, wow, we didn't see that. It's actually a check to the head going against Izzy Olsen of the Bearcats, so it's going to be a 2-minute penalty for the Saints. It's the first card of the day for either side. And assuming Caitlin Traynor can successfully clear this one, which she almost always does, it'll be a man-up possession for the Saints. Comes Traynor, no one within 40 yards of her. You don't want to let her go downhill. She gets there easily. So once again, the Saints are a man up, still over a minute 40 left in the penalty. Pinder, LaFerrier, Daziel up top with Teeple, Oniga, Morton, and Usher on the attack. Usher works it up to Daziel. Swinging it around nicely. Works it back to Pinder, does LaFerrier. Oh, had Morton cutting. Thought about it, did Pinder, but decided to be patient and work the offense a little more. Oh, a tight pass there to LaFerrier. LaFerrier gets inside, shoots. Misses wide left, but Usher able to back that one up. Usher has the cutter, Oniga, who shoots and scores. Fires it into the top left corner. Couldn't have placed it any better than that. It's another assist for Tristan Usher. And for the Saints, the lead is once again back to 4. It's now 6-2 with 3:15 to go in the quarter. So the penalty will release, and we are back to even strength. It'll be Von Aken and Allie Miller at the center circle for the next draw. Lander couldn't win a draw to save their life to start this one off. Have won a couple in the last several minutes to stop the bleeding ever so slightly. And the officials get them set. The ball goes up. Von Aken had it for a second. They're going to say likely interference there on Miller. So it'll be Lander ball. Izzy Olsen will take it past restraining herself. Takes a breather, works it on up to Lauren Condon. This time it's Alyssa Sukan working it down to Olsen. The Saints defense has been excellent so far. Let up the 2 goals, but one was a broken play, and the other was just a phenomenal shot by Emmy Peterson. And they're going to call a charge. Great job by Jen Seebach to draw that one. Stood firm. And it looks like Emmy Peterson just knocked her over. So Seebach will defer to Caitlin Trainer. Trainer will take it herself. Whizzing past Izzy Olsen. And now works it up to Eva Stein. And with Madison Daziel staying back, Stein works it down to Tristan Usher. And it's another Saints possession with just over 2 minutes to play here in the first. Once again, it's Pinder, LaFerrier, and Daziel at the midfield. Oniga up top as well, works it down to Madison. Here's Ella Pinder, dodging left. Oh, almost had one. Coach Kellum wanted a shooting space call, doesn't get it. Morton working inside, able to work it out to Daziel, who makes a nifty catch there. Oh, and Daziel checked as she threw it and throws it off stick side to Morton. It goes out of bounds. So a turnover there for the Saints. Well defended by the Bearcats. That was number 2, Annabeth Baker. We've said her name already today. She's playing some nice defense. Amelia McCauley working it inside. And they'll back it on out to Izzy Olsen. Ella Pinder still in. Oh, and forces Izzy Olsen to lose it. Loses it again. And Caitlin Trainer with a tough ground ball, able to pick it up. And Trainer outrunning the entire Lander defense there, and she'll just work it over to Carly Teeple. Teeple gets some space. She's coming in, shoots. And a beautiful save by Crosby. Went low with Teeple. The scouting report on Teeple is she likes to finish low, and Crosby guessed right there. And that was a big one. Would have made it a 5-goal game, with just about 30 seconds to play. And a miscommunication there as Figueres picks it up. 15 on the game clock in the quarter. Figueres gets it past restraining. Now 10 on the clock. You wonder if Flagler's going to try and attack here. Now 5 on the clock. Morton not in any rush. And that's how our quarter will end. So after the first, Flagler got out to a commanding lead. It's 6-2. They are in front. We're going to take a break here before the second quarter. Before we do, we would love to thank Hero of Florida, your partner for the complete equipment lifestyle. We'll be back in a second, folks. Once again, the score, Flagler 6, the Lander Bearcats 2. Don't go anywhere. The second quarter coming up after this. All right, fans, out of the timeout here. Just getting ready for the second quarter of action between Lander and Flagler. Once again, the score, Flagler 6, Lander 2. It was all Saints to start off that game. They netted 4 goals in the first 4.5 minutes, and then it was pretty even from then on. Flagler dominated on the draws. They won 6 to Lander's 3. It'll be Tanksley and Von Aken for their respective sides. And we are off. This one goes up. Izzy Olsen battling with Ella Pinder. Olsen able to corral that ground ball. And the Bearcats will go on offense first to start off the second quarter. So it's Emmy Peterson defended by Eva Stein. Stein really hasn't given her much. Even on the goal Peterson scored, didn't really have much space. Even on that shot, impressive job getting just enough space to get the shot off. It was wide left. Here's Sukan working in. Oh, behind the back, hits Ribadenera in the head. Oh, and they're going to get Alyssa Sukan. Sukan attempted the behind-the-back shot. It hit Ribadenera in the head. It was a nifty opportunity there. If Lauren's head wasn't there, that would have been a goal. But instead, it's a 2-minute penalty for the Bearcats. This time it's Trainer. Easily beats Izzy Olsen there. And works it up to Carly LaFerrier. First time we've seen Virginia Fisher in this game. Fisher, the promising freshman, the lefty on the far side. Pinder stepping in, thought about it, works it out to Teeple. Here's Usher behind the cage. And it looks like they're going to get Tiana Hall with a 3-second. So it'll be Virginia Fisher from the 8-meter mark on the far side. The first free position opportunity for either team in this one. Let's see what Fisher elects to do. Fisher takes it, shoots. Looks like it got deflected over the cage. Lexi Morton was waiting for it. So the Saints retain possession. LaFerrier out to Fisher. Works it back out to Carly. This time it's Oniga on the wing. Finds Fisher. Fisher inside to LaFerrier. Thought about it, decides to work it on out to Usher. The Saints moving the ball beautifully. Pinder decides to shoot it after weaving her way through traffic. It is out of bounds on the goal line, so the Saints will still have possession. This time it's Teeple who shoots and somehow squeezes it past Crosby. What a finish from Carly Teeple. So that one assisted by Lexi Morton. A beautiful finish from Carly Teeple, who already has 3 goals on the contest to add to her team leading total. And for the Saints, they're now out in front 7-2. Carly Teeple seems to have been everywhere in this one. Always finding space and barely had an angle there. Somehow was able to sneak it right past the stick of Crosby on the near side of the net. So 13-11 to play in the half. It'll be Allie Miller on the draw for the Saints. The other side looks like it's Von Aken again. Ball goes up. Von Aken almost had it, wasn't able to pick it up. Bit of a scrum, and Von Aken this time picks up the ground ball, works it back to Tiana Hall. Hall throwing it up, able to connect with Lauren Condon. Condon booking it down the sideline on the near side. This time it's Sukan working with Izzy Olsen on the near side. Olsen defended by Maddie Hartsock. Looks like they're trying to set up an isolation play here. And instead, Olsen will work it over to Emmy Peterson. Peterson defended by Seabach. Works it inside to Olsen. Great save by Ribadenera. The shot again saved. Ribadenera makes two very challenging saves. Has to go across her body and go low. Those are two of the more impressive saves that you'll see from anyone. Lauren Ribadenera, or I don't care who's playing goalkeeper. And Molly Sloan collects the pass from Seabach. She will take it past restraining herself, and Flagler once again is on offense. Like we mentioned, Ribadenera getting low and going across her body. And we're going to get a foul call on Autumn Husky. Looks like just a little bit of a push there, so Morton will set up essentially on the goal line at the 12-meter. Morton splits. Works it up top. It's Barbara Tucker. Tucker, oh, she had Fisher, but defended beautifully by Callaway Umstead, able to intercept that pass. And a nice defensive possession there for Lander. They will go the other way. Working it up to Lauren Condon. And now Sukan. So it's Emmy Peterson once again with Eva Stein guarding. Oh, getting inside was Sukan. Had some space, but fires it wide right of the net. Possession will stay with the Bearcats. Mickey Burnett dodging, has to work it back out to Peterson. You know, Peterson's gonna want to go right, and this time buries one between the legs of Ribadenera. And that's the second goal of the contest for Emmy Peterson. Cuts the deficit back to 4. It's now 7-3 with 10.5 to play in the half. So you can tell Lander wants to run everything through Emmy Peterson, even with Stein closely defending her. She's so strong and able to get just enough space to get a shot off. And that one too powerful for Ribadenera, who's made a few beautiful saves in this quarter. So once again, it's Allie Miller facing off against Haley Von Aken on this draw. They are set. This one rolls toward the near side here, toward the Flagler offensive zone. They're going to say violation against Lander. So Carly LaFerrier picks it up, and the Saints are back on offense. So it's Tristan Usher. Usher with a goal and an assist in the first quarter. There's Anaga on the wing on the near side, looking like she wants to dodge. Beats her man. Anaga underhand shoots it right between the legs of Crosby. And Sydney Anaga has her second goal of the day. It's back to a 5-goal lead for the Saints. Anaga so quickly, loves those face dodges, getting goal line extended and just brought the stick back for a nice angle. And there's not much Crosby can do with that. Anaga could have gone high, could have gone low. She chose low. And it's now an 8-3 Flagler lead. So for Anaga, that's now 27 goals on the year. She's now tied for third in that category. And this draw goes all the way up. Miller with one hand, almost able to catch it. Still going up, and a huge scrum. Ella Pinder gives herself some space. And it's a draw control for Ella Pinder. She'll take it the other way. Pinder defended very nicely by Ella Benson there, but able to work it down to Usher. They'll work it back up top to Anaga and LaFerrier. Honega beats her man once again. Rolls this one. Oh, almost snuck it past Crosby. Crosby looks like it hit her shorts and just was able to stop it before it crossed the goal line. So a huge break there for the Bearcats. It was almost a 6-goal lead for the Saints. Umstead bringing it up herself, works it down low to Amelia McCauley. McCauley defers to Sukan, and now Izzy Olsen. They work it over to the far side to Emmy Peterson. Now it's Olsen. So the Bearcats setting up the offense. A fake flip. Sukan retains the ball. Molly Sloan read it perfectly. Sukan spinning a little bit. Works it down low. Oh, I don't know how that pass got through to Mickey Burnett. They work it out to Peterson, who face dodges. A great take. Ella Pinder with some nice defense as the ball deflects, and Ella Pinder intercepts the pass from Sukan. Takes it the other way herself. Ella Pinder defending the shot by Peterson and then intercepting the pass by Sukan. Gets it the other way. Here's Morton, shoots and scores. Off the assist from Sydney Honega, a textbook breakaway goal for the Saints. For Morton, it's her first goal since coming back from injury. It's now 9-3, Flagler on top. So for Lander, the offense starting to find their groove ever so slightly, but their defense has had no answers for the Flagler offense. Other than a few nice saves by Crosby, seems like the Saints have been able to do whatever they want in the offensive zone. So it's Von Aken and Miller at the center circle. 7:54 to play here in the first half. Outside the circle for the Saints are Caitlin Trainer and Molly Sloan. Hartsock and Tucker back in the defensive zone, but they are the midfielders. Ball rattles around. Caitlin Trainer picks up the ground ball in a battle with Izzy Olsen. Beats Olsen, takes it down the alley, and she will defer to Carly Teeple. Teeple threatening like she wanted to dodge already, but she'll just work it back to Morton and get it up top to the midfielders. This time it's Daziel. Loves that sweep play. And it's not there. Backs it out to Lexi. Morton spins back, looking to feed. She has Daziel up top. It's Tucker. Oh, a nice split dodge from Barb Tucker. Tucker somehow able to keep the ball in her stick. And they're going to get a foul on Lander. So Barb Tucker will have it from the 8-meter mark on the far side, the same position that Virginia Fisher had. So tough angle here. We'll see if Tucker is able to net her second goal of the game. Works it to Teeple. Up top to Daziel, who shoots and just misses wide left of the cage. Backed up nicely by Teeple and Usher, so the Saints retain possession. Finds it inside, and it's Hartsock finishing low on the left corner. Off the assist from Tristan Usher. A beautiful cut by Hartsock and an even better finish. And the Saints are into double digits. It's now a 10-3 lead. And as we mentioned, the Saints offense doing whatever they want. Lander defensively has no answers, and it's been the cutters for the Flagler Saints, whether it's Teeple or that time it's Maddie Hartsock. They have been there all day, so a beautiful finish from Hartsock. We'll do it again from the center circle. Just a minute since the last goal, now 6:54 to play here in the first half. Goes up and, I don't know how LaFerrier was able to catch that one, but she does. Takes it herself past restraining. The Saints once again are on the offense. Pinder defended nicely by Ella Benson, works it down low to the attack. Teeple spreading things out a bit. She'll work it up to LaFerrier. This time it's Morton up top. Nope, she'll defer back to LaFerrier. LaFerrier looking like she wants to dodge. Splits, works it out. It's Usher. Oh, had Madison Daziel curling. A tight window to fit it through. The ball rattles around and ends up in the goalie stick of Crosby. Husky moves it to Olsen. And they're able to get it down to Lauren Condon, Condon's done a nice job completing the clears throughout this one for the Bearcats. Peterson works it over to Olsen now. Olsen able to beat Figueroa, shoots and scores past Ribadenera. Lander trying to set up those ISOs from up top. And that time Olsen able to get free with her left hand and cuts into the deficit ever so slightly. So it's now 10-4, the Flagler lead. And for Izzy Olsen, that's now her 21st goal of the season. So it's Amelia McCauley on the draw for the Bearcats. Haven't seen her in this position yet today. It's still Allie Miller for the Saints. We've seen a little bit of Claudia Tanksley, but predominantly has been Miller on the draws. This one goes up, and LaFerrier battling through a check from Autumn Husky. Able to catch it, taking it downhill. She'll take it herself. A nice save by Crosby, going low with LaFerrier. And now a scrum in front of the cage. And able to come up with it is Gabrielle Cantarella. Cantarella takes it herself past restraining, so a successful clear for the Bearcats. And they are back on offense. We'll see if they want to go with the ISO game. They set up with one midfielder or Emmy Peterson, and everyone else in a bunch formation just periodically cutting. They go ISO up top with Olsen again. Loses control, and Molly Sloan picks it up. They're going to have a play-on foul there as Sloan went down hard. Glad to see she's all right. Here's Trainer, a couple dangerous checks by Sukan, but none of them land on her, so Trainer easily gets it into the restraining box. And she'll defer to Ella Pinder, and the Saints are back on offense. So 4:20 to play here in the first half. It's Usher behind the cage, calling out for Virginia Fisher. This time Fisher works it up to Oniga. Ferrier had some space. We had a play-on penalty there. It looks like they're going to get Autumn Husky on the foul there. And so here's LaFerrier in a good position from the 8-meter. High percentage chance here. LaFerrier takes it in, fires in the top right corner. Couldn't have placed it any better than that one. Crosby guessed low, and she was way off there. And the Saints lead is back to 7. It's now 11-4 with just under 4 to play in the half. So with LaFerrier, she had a great angle on that shot. Didn't need to do anything fancy. Didn't need to wind up too much. Just need to place it. And she does so in the top right corner. So once again, it's McCauley and Miller at the center circle for the next draw. Lander has improved on the draws, but the work of the Flagler midfield has been the difference. This one goes back toward us. It's rolling toward the end line. Defended nicely by Molly Sloan. Forces Autumn Husky to scoop it out of bounds. Sydney Onigo will pick it up. Beats her man easily. And works it down low to Teeple. Teeple and Usher working behind the cage. It's Morton on the wing. This time Usher goes back to Teeple. Teeple loses it ever so briefly, but Usher able to pick up the uncontested ground ball. Usher up top to Sydney. Flips it back to Usher. Behind the net to Morton. Morton inside to Teeple. Shoots and scores! And Carly Teeple once again on a nice cut. A great find from Lexi Morton, and Teeple had about a step and a half on her defender, easily able to finish that one. And the lead is now 8 for Flagler. It's 12-4. Morton has the goal, but you're seeing why she's so valuable. Such a great passer, great vision when working the ball inside. And between her, Teeple, and Usher, the Flagler attack back at full strength is a scary sight for any opponent. So it's Miller and McCauley again. Miller has gotten the better of her on the last several draws. Able to work this one back to Trainer. Unable to pick it up at first. But this time she'll weave her way through 3 Lander defenders and into the offensive zone. So 2.5 to play here in the first half. Once again, the score 12-4. Flagler out in front. It's Barb Tucker with the ball up top. She's looking at a little isolation. Sweeping left. Loses it ever so briefly. Able to pick it back up. They'll work it down to Teeple. Teeple, tried to find Tucker inside. Somehow the ball ends up in her stick. We'll wait for the call from the officials. We'll see if it's a charge or a foul against Lander. It looks like they will not get the charge call that they wanted. And the Bearcat sideline not happy with that call. It was a bang-bang play there. Could have gone either way. It'll be Barb Tucker from the 8-meter mark. Winds up, shoots, goes low, and Crosby went low with her. So a nice save by Crosby. Usher playing some nice defense on her. And Umstead takes it, and they're going to get Lexi Morton. It looks like possibly a cross check. Morton doesn't agree with that call. It was a bit of a soft foul, but when you put the hands on the stick like that, they're going to call it more often than not. So it would be a 1-minute penalty for Morton, and Lander goes on the man up. So they had the call that didn't go their way. They disagreed with it. Made the save, and then they get one that bounces their way on the other side. Ella Benson with the ball on the far side. Works it back up top to Condon. Now down low, it's Izzy Olsen. Working with Condon. They work it around to Emmy Peterson. Sukan brings it in. Stuffed. Lauren Ribadenera stands tall there. Sukan didn't even throw a fake, just shot it right into her stick. And nonetheless, a great save by Ribadenera, standing tall there. And the Saints will take it the other way. comes Molly Sloan as the last few seconds on the penalty tick down. And we are back to even strength. So Morton makes her way back onto the field. Oh, Usher's pass a little bit high, but luckily Morton running on the field was right there, and she gets going downhill. Oh, nice pass from LaFerrier to Virginia Fisher. A great cut by Fisher, even better pass by LaFerrier to find her. And for Fisher, it's her first goal of the day, and that makes it a 9-goal lead. So with 28 seconds left in the half, it's now 13-4 as Virginia Fisher nets her 6th goal of the season. And the Flagler sideline erupts for Virginia Fisher. Seems to be a fan favorite among that bunch. But as we've mentioned before, a bright future for Fisher, the freshman from Hollywood, Maryland. So almost done with the first half. We'll see if the Saints can get one more. Miller picks up the ground ball. Coach Kellum calls timeout. And the Saints will have one last possession here with 20.5 seconds left in the half. So we'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back to wrap up the first half. Before we go, I'd like to thank the Noah Bailey Group, your local real estate experts. And how about 123 Burger House, grillin' and chillin'. We'll be back in a second, folks. Once again, the score 13-4, Flagler on top. All right, fans, out of the timeout here. About 20 seconds on the clock. It's going to be Flagler ball up top here as they called timeout right as they got possession. Ella Pinder will go to pick it up. If you're just joining us, the score is 13 for Flagler. The Bearcats from Lander sitting at 4. So if Flagler gets one more, we'll see a running clock to start off the second half. They're going to have to move quickly if they want to net one more. Working it around. 12 on the clock. Now under 10. LaFerrier goes. Sweeping right. Finds Pinder, who puts it in her left hand. Defended nicely. Gets a bit of an angle. Shoots and saved by Crosby. Yeah, it's the best opportunity they were going to get. Pinder just thought a shot is better than nothing. But the Saints will go into halftime up 9 rather than 10. So we're going to take a break here. Once again, the score 13-4. Flagler all over Lander in that first half. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming up next. All right, fans, we're out of the timeout from halftime. Once again, if you're just joining us, the score Flagler 13, Lander 4. It was all Saints in that first half as the offense was humming. It's Haley Von Aken and Allie Miller back at the center circle for this first draw. This one goes all the way back to the Flagler defensive area. Seabach is working against Autumn Husky, and Kaylin Figueres able to come up with the ground ball. And the draw control goes to the Saints to start off the second half. So we mentioned it when we were wrapping up the first half, but if the Saints put in one more goal, we'll see a running clock. Of course, when a team's up by 10, the clock starts to run. As of now, though, we're not in running clock territory, so it's Morton working it over to Usher. Tristan Usher looking to feed, throws a few fakes, works it back up top to Ella Pinder. This time it's Oniga. Oniga's going to go right. Has an angle, shoots. Nice save by Crosby. Oniga tried to go low in the bottom left corner. Crosby starting to figure out the Saints a little bit, knows that they like to finish low. And Crosby, who had 6 saves in the first half, now has her 7th to start off the second. So Canarella gets the ball over to Mickey Burnett. Burnett defers to Ella Benson, and now Emmy Peterson on the wing on the near side. Izzy Olsen on the far side now, defended by Ella Pinder. Olsen gets left, shoots, and bounces one past Ribadenera. And it's now 13-5 as Izzy Olsen is able to net her 3rd goal of the contest. So offensively for Lander, it's really been the ISO game. No assisted goals so far in this one. Olsen's done a nice job of getting a nice angle and just enough space to free herself up for a good look, and she does so again there. For Olsen, that's now 22 goals on the season. Moves her into 3rd place on the team. And coming into play, she was behind Alyssa Sukan and Mickey Burnett. We haven't seen much of Mickey Burnett, and Sukan has been smothered by the Flagler defense. The draw goes up. There's a bit of a scrum. They're going to say delay on Flagler, so Izzy Olsen will pick it up for the Bearcats, and they will once again go on offense. So Flagler with an 8-goal lead. Not an insurmountable deficit for Lander, but they're going to need to score quickly. Probably get it back to about 4 or 5 at the end of the third if they want any chance of coming back in this one. Sukan looks inside, the ball rattles around, and Jen Seabach picks it up. Seabach will, she'll work it back. Eva Stein can't save it. A beautiful check there by Emmy Peterson to force the turnover. A rare unforced error for Jen Seabach. You don't see her make many mistakes. And even still, that was more so a great play defensively by Emmy Peterson. Known for her offense, but she can do it all. This time Olsen defended very nicely by Molly Sloan. Peterson looking for the angle, shoots, and Ribadenera saves. Goes down low with Peterson. And Seabach works it over to Molly Sloan, and Sloan is on the clear. Sloan beats Sukan. Almost a check to the head, but the officials have a great view, and they elected to keep it in their pocket. Sloan defended very nicely by Autumn Husky. We've said her name a decent amount in this second half already. Usher flips it to Morton. Morton looking to feed, spins it back. Works it across to Usher, an errant pass just out of reach, and another turnover for the Saints. This time it's Morton. Crosby working it up. She has Husky. Husky, the clearing specialist. Defended nicely by Morton, but is able to beat her. And Husky will work it back. So it's Umstead now, sporting the helmet, protecting her head a little extra than some of her counterparts. And the pass goes high. Emmy Peterson is there to save it before it goes out of bounds, so Lander retains possession. Lauren Condon with a nice face dodge takes it in. Save, Ribadenera. Ribadenera having one of her better games of the year, whether it's low or high. She's been able to repel a lot of good shots from the Bearcat offense. Trainer taking it in herself. Flips it out to Usher, who rolls one past Crosby. An easy goal for Tristan Usher, assisted by Caitlin Trainer, who we always mention her. Caitlin Trainer, known for her defense and specialist on the clear, but she picks up her 4th assist of the year, and Usher buries that one. So for Usher, that's 2 goals now on the contest, makes it a 14-5 Flagler lead. And once again, we're closing in on running clock territory. If Flagler's able to get one more, the clock will start to run. So it's Von Aken squaring off against Claudia Tanksley at the center circle. Molly Sloan and Trainer, of course, outside for the Saints. That one goes up. Trainer looks like she has a beat on it. She does. A draw control for Caitlin Trainer. Seems like she never gets tired. Just booked it down the field, picked up the assist, and she's going to do it again. This time we'll simply defer to the Flagler attack. But Daziel works it to Tucker. Tucker over to Maddie Hartsock. Saints working it around nicely, possessing the ball. Looks like they're setting up the sweep from Daziel. It's where she is so effective. Now it's Oniga on the wing and goes with the face dodge. Works it down to Morton, who has Teeple cutting. Teeple buries it bottom right off the assist from Lexi Morton. And for Carly Teeple, it's now 5 goals on the contest. And the lead is now 10, 15-5. And for Lexi Morton, that's her 4th assist of the game. And as we mentioned, it's running clock territory, so as you'll notice, the clock is now winding down. We're not stopping it. The Saints will hope to make this a quicker game if they can add on to this lead. But regardless, the score 15-5 with about 8:45 left in the third. So this time it's Claudia Tanksley squaring off against Haley Von Aken. Tanksley wins it, setting up a nice breakaway. Then she'll just back it out to Morton. And an easy win there for Claudia Tanksley. Does it herself. The Saints are right back on offense. So after falling to Lynn, Flagler has been firing on all cylinders. Last weekend against Shorter and here against Lander, the offense has been phenomenal. And how about the defense as well, and even the play of Lauren Ribadenera? It seems like all facets of the game, Flagler is dominating. Oniga splits. Takes it in, shoots. Nice save there by Crosby. Looked like it may have been going wide of the cage, but a nice save regardless. Crosby works it up to Umstead, who will go on the clear. Looking for Autumn Husky. Oh, passes it over her head to Izzy Olsen. A nice find there. And now it's Lauren Condon on the offense for Lander. Ella Benson tries the flip to Peterson, who's able to corral it. Peterson lowering the shoulder, trying to get as much space as she can against Eva Stein. Stein playing some great defense on Peterson. You're not going to stop her. Oh, and a nice shot by Sukan. Didn't look like she had much space there, but gets it off. Ribadenera looks like she didn't even see it. It bounces through her legs, so it's back to a 9-goal game, and the clock will stop once again. It's now 15-6. Flagler out in front with just over 7 to play in the third. All right, so we'll do it again from the center circle. It's Tanksley and Von Aken. The officials get them set. This one is up. It looks like LaFerrier has a beat on it. She does. Carly LaFerrier with the draw control on this one. Works it out to Ella Pinder. And the Saints work it back behind the cage to the attack. And the offense is ready to go. So it's Morton on the wing. Works it back up top to LaFerrier. Now Pinder. Pinder dodges right. Now backs it out. Defers to Tristan Usher down low. Usher out in front. Thought she had a cutting Sydney Oniga. But lucky for her, Carly LaFerrier was there to back it up. This time it's Teeple, already with 5 goals in the game. Oh, just a wide pass. And Izzy Olsen will take it into the offensive zone for the Saints. Seabach trying to force her toward the sideline. And Landers once again on the offensive. It's Olsen and Kayla Smith up top. First time we've seen Kayla Smith in this contest. Sukan on the wing on the far side. Throws a few fakes. Molly Sloan sticks with her. Sloan hits the deck. Sukan has an angle, shoots, and scores high against Ribadenera. So a lucky break there for Alyssa Sukan. Molly Sloan was with her. And it looks like the Turf Monster reached up and got her. So Lander doing a nice job of avoiding the running clock. It's now an 8-goal game, 15-7, with 5:20 to play in the quarter. So it's Von Aken and Tanksley once again on the draw. Haven't seen Allie Miller in a few possessions. This one goes up. Tanksley takes it herself. Frees herself away from 2 Lander defenders. And Eva Stein will work it up to Caitlin Traynor. This time it's Virginia Fisher taking it into the offensive zone, and the Saints are back on offense. So Flagler got out to a 10-goal lead. Lander was able to capitalize on 2 straight goals. We had about a minute or 2 of running clock, but since then, it's back within 10. Here's Fisher, works it back out. Lexi Morton weaving her way through traffic. Gets it to Teeple. Oh, and Teeple is fouled hard. Teeple does a nice job of absorbing the contact. Oh, that's a tough word. And she is set up for an 8-meter free position from the near side. Teeple taking it in, throws a few fakes. And scores. You couldn't tell if it was stuffed, but you could tell by Crosby's reaction that she didn't make the save. And for Carly Teeple, it's now 6 goals on the game, a double hat trick. And the lead is back to 9 for the Saints. So that's now Flagler's second goal off a free position today. They're 2 for 4 in that category. And Carly Teeple putting on a show of scoring today. Her team-leading goal total is now up to 37 on the season. So nothing changed on the draw. Still Tanksley and Von Aken. This one goes backward. Tanksley has a beat on it. She's able to get there. Looking up for Molly Sloan. Some sticks in the way, so she'll defer to Trainer. And a nice check by Sukan to force it out of the stick of Trainer. Not something you see that much. And Izzy Olsen picks it up. And Lander will take it the other way. And a low pass there. Ella Benson able to pick it up. So no harm done if you're a Lander fan. And they will set up the offense. So it's Olsen up top. She loves that ISO play, as does Sukan. Molly Sloan's been all over Sukan, but she has a couple goals here. Peterson able to draw the shooting space as Barbara Tucker was in the way. And that'll be the first free position for Lander. It's Emmy Peterson. Who else from the 8-meter? Peterson shoots. Oh, goes bar down. It looks like Ribadanera read it well, but it deflects off the crossbar and into the bottom right corner. A beautifully placed shot there by Emmy Peterson. That's why she's the Gulf South Player of the Week. And she's able to keep it under double digits. It's now 16-8, the deficit for the Bearcats. So Lander showing some life here. They're actually winning this quarter by a score of 4-3 after losing 6-2 in the first and 7-2 in the second. A lot more offensive opportunities there. Tough to get these opportunities when Tanksley and Miller are doing such a good job on the draw. Tanksley wins another one, brings it down into the offensive zone. She'll back it on out and defer to Tristan Usher. And Claudia Tanksley having a great day on the draw as she wins another one. So here's Usher, defended by Tiana Hall. Puts it in her right hand, finds Teeple. Teeple deflects it off the head of Crosby into the net. Carly Teeple, 7 goals on the day. It's back to a 9-goal game, but Carly Teeple always cutting, it feels like, and always open when she's cutting. And it was just her and Crosby. She's able to sneak it past, deflects off the helmet into the cage. And it's now 17-8. Flagler is in front. This time it's Tanksley and McCauley. Tanksley almost had it, but Kate Weston does a nice job of picking up that ground ball. And the Bearcats will call timeout. So we'll take a break here. It'll be Lander ball on the far side in the alley when we return. Before we go to break, hey, if anyone's hungry after the game, stop into Applebee's. There is really no place like the neighborhood. We'll be back in a second, folks. Once again, the score 17-8. Flagler all over the Bearcats of Lander. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a second. All right, fans, out of the timeout here. Once again, it's going to be Lander ball on the far side in the alley. We have 2:52 remaining here in the third quarter. It'll be Izzy Olsen picking it up for the Bearcats. Works it over to Peterson. Oh, a low pass. Peterson able to pick it up herself. Stein staying with her. Works it down to Sukan. Thought she had an angle there. Fires it inside. The shot is saved. McCauley had a little bit of an angle there, but shoots it right into the stick of Ribbonera. Now Molly Sloan booking it downhill the other way. Gets it to Teeple. This time it's Morton. Pivots. Oh, Pinder just off the top of her stick. And Sukan took a couple tries, but she is able to pick up the ground ball. Now it's down to Izzy Olsen. Izzy Olsen has a chance, and we're going to get a shooting space. This will be a high percentage look for Olsen. She did a nice job. Looked like she had an angle to shoot, but draws the foul instead to get herself a better look. Olsen takes it in, bounces one, and it clinks off the top right under the crossbar. And that's another goal for Izzy Olsen. So Lander has responded nicely out of the halftime break. 5 goals in this quarter, 2 of them coming off of free positions, one by Emmy Peterson, and the latest from Izzy Olsen. So the running clock's starting to seem like a distant dream for the Saints. It's been back and forth between an 8 and 9 goal lead. And still plenty of time remaining, about 2 minutes to go here in the third. So it's Claudia Tanksley squaring off against Amelia McCauley for the Bearcats. Tanksley has gotten the better of her and Von Aken throughout this game. And she'll do it again. Molly Sloan with the draw control in this one. And the Saints are back on offense, so you can't say enough about the job Claudia Tanksley's done. And how about Trainer and Sloan outside the circle? Whenever Tanksley doesn't get it, one of them has been right there. Saints going with Morton up top. Defended very nicely there. That's Callaway Umstead. Here comes Virginia Fisher. Ball in her right hand, moves it over to Tristan Usher. Usher had Teeple for a second. Timing was a bit off there. Finds her this time. And how about another one? Carly Teeple having a day. Off the pass from Tristan Usher. And Teeple, they couldn't connect on the first cut, so Teeple backs it out, says, I'll just do it again. And a dominant performance today from Carly Teeple. It's back to a 9-goal game, 18-9, the Flagler lead. So it's Tanksley, and McCauley. As we mentioned, Tanksley has been dominant on the draws, particularly in this second half. Both teams with 5 goals in the quarter. This one goes up in the air. Tanksley able to get the ground ball. Kate Weston was closing in on her, but Tanksley quickly able to get it in her stick. The ball's worked up to Virginia Fisher. Fisher works it inside to Hartsock, who lost it for a second, able to pick up her own ground ball. 45 seconds left in the quarter. It's Usher spinning back, curling around, shoots and scores. A beautiful play from Tristan Usher. Puts the foot in the ground and curls up across the crease and simply rolls one past Crosby for the Bearcats. And once again, hey, we're back to running clock territory. It's now 19-9, the lead for the Saints. So the Saints doing it in a million different ways on the draw, whether it's Tanksley getting it herself and going directly down or working it back. They have been dominant in that area. So, like we mentioned, it's a running clock. The clock does expire just before the draw. So we will take a break. Before we go to timeout, of course, want to thank some more of our wonderful sponsors. South State Bank, welcome to Banking Forward. And how about Spartan Orthopedic Institute, sports medicine and robotic surgery, only at Spartan Orthopedic Institute. We'll be back out of the timeout in just a second, folks. Don't go anywhere. The fourth quarter of action coming up next. All right, fans, we're out of the timeout here, just getting set for the fourth quarter of action between Lander and the Flagler Saints. If you're just joining us, Flagler out to a dominant lead. It's 19-9 with 8 of their goals coming from Carly Teeple alone. Some other leading scorers for the Saints. Tristan Usher with a hat trick, also has 4 assists to go along with that total. In addition, Sydney Oniga, 2 goals and 3 assists. And how about Lexi Morton in her return to action? 1 goal and 4 assists. So it's a lot of Saints getting involved, but none more important in this one than Carly Teeple. This draw goes up. Sukan able to corral it with one hand, loses it. Her and LaFerrier are battling on the far side. Scoops it to herself, does LaFerrier. And Sukan able to work it on out. A nice heads-up play there to get it to Autumn Husky. And, deflected by Figueres. But Mickey Burnett was able to corral the pass anyways. So a nice play by Burnett. Very heads up. Here's Emmy Peterson. Not entirely shut down in this one. But Eva Stein has done a very nice job on Emmy Peterson so far in this one. Peterson still with 3 goals. Oddly enough, none of the Lander goals have come off an assist. So 9 unassisted goals. You don't see that often. And they're hoping for another one here as Emmy Peterson winds up, shoots, and buries it. Too easy when you're as powerful as Emmy Peterson. That's her 4th goal of the contest. That gives her 38 on the season to lead all Lander players. So the running clock is gone once again. We've been going back and forth with it. Clock will stop, 13:58 to go in regulation. So we see Jaden Hardy checking into the game on defense for the Saints as Caitlin Trainer catches a breather. So it'll be Tanksley and Sukan on the draw. The Bearcats trying to get any sort of momentum. It's been all Claudia Tanksley on these draws. This one goes up, and LaFerrier able to come away with it. LaFerrier going downhill, beats Benson. Takes it herself behind the cage and works it over to Carly Teeple. As we mentioned, Carly Teeple, 8 goals in this one away from a triple hat trick. Oh, and Usher's pass sails over the head of Virginia Fisher, so an unforced error there for the Saints. And Gabrielle Canarella will pick it up for Lander. Canarella taking it up, working it past Tristan Usher, and now working against Teeple and Onega. Not much room to work with, but just barely on the sideline, able to get the corner and work it into the restraining box. So here's Izzy Olsen trying to get that left side, unable to. She does find Alyssa Sukan, who shoots, and that one is saved by Ribadenera. Behind the cage, Jaden Hardy, who we just mentioned, just checked in, able to pick up that ground ball. A nice trail check from Mickey Burnett, not enough to get it away from Hardy. And a nice job from Hardy filling in for Caitlin Trainer. So a successful clear for the Saints. Usher works it inside to Pinder. Pinder spins it back and will work it on out to Carly LaFerrier. 12:10 to play here in regulation. Lexi Morton with the ball up top. Ball in her left hand, splits. Nice defense by Autumn Husky. We've said that a lot today, but she's going to be called for a foul. Morton letting them know she did not like that. So it'll be a free position for Morton from the 12-meter. Morton works it on out. This time it's Madison Daziel working it behind the cage to Usher. Sydney Onega looking like she wants to dodge. Face dodge. Had a bit of the angle. This time works it up top to Pinder, and a shooting space call. They're going to get Ella Benson, it looks like, on that one. Excuse me, it'll be Gabrielle Canarella that they're going to call. So Ella Pinder with the 8-meter free position on the near side. Pinder shoots and is stuffed. Crosby guesses that she's going to go top right, guesses correctly, and stuffs Ella Pinder on that one. A great save by Crosby. She's been busy today. While she's let in 19 goals, it's been an admirable performance. And how about Caitlin Trainer getting her stick in the way? Sydney Onega picks up the ground ball, gets it to Ella Pinder. And a failed clear there for Lander. Looks like we're going to get an offside call on Izzy Olsen. And that'll be a green card. This will be a 1-minute penalty assessed to Izzy Olsen. Izzy Olsen's had a great game. 4 goals in the contest. Has been playing hard on both ends of the field, but that time just took a step over the restraining line. And the officials catch her. So Flagler on the man up. Well, they work it up top to Pinder. Pinder has Morton. Morton with a little crow hop works it on out to Daziel. They had a man on the far side, but unable to connect. Defended nicely by the Bearcats. Lexi works it down to Daisiel, inside to Teeple. Teeple scores! 9 goals on the game for Carly Teeple. Incredible game from Teeple, off the assist that time from Daisiel. And once again, we're in running clock territory. It's 20-10, Flagler on top. And Coach Bob DeSchill for the Bearcats decides he's seen enough. Let's take a breather. So we'll take a timeout as well. Before we go to break, one more sponsor we'd like to thank, of course, St. Augustine Marina, for all your boating and fishing needs. Hey, check out St. Augustine Marina. We'll be back in a second, folks. Once again, the score 20-10, Flagler on top. All right, folks. We are out of the timeout here with 10:03 to go in this match between Lander and Flagler. As we mentioned, Flagler just netted their 20th goal of the game, and it's the 9th for Carly Teeple alone, having a career day. As we mentioned, it's in running clock territory, but Coach DeSchill decided to call a timeout to ease the burden of the running clock. On this draw, Tanksley wins it herself with one hand. A nice trail check by Autumn Husky. Husky's been everywhere for the Bearcats, but Claudia Tanksley says, I'll do you one better. Takes it right back from Husky, and it's another Saints possession. The Saints have been dominant on the draws today. Coming into the fourth quarter, they've won 23 to the Bearcats 7. And the Saints in no hurry here. So it's Lexi Morton on the wing on the near side. Defended closely by Condon. Looks inside. LaFerrier on the quick stick and scores in the top left. A beautiful pass, and even better finish there by Carly LaFerrier. For Carly, that's her second goal of the contest. For Morton, now 5 assists on the day. And now the Saints are comfortably in running clock territory. It's 21-10. They're out in front. And that's been the name of the game for Flagler. Just wait for the cutters. They have been there all day. Normally it's Carly Teeple, but hey, Carly LaFerrier says, I want to get in on the action. So the officials get them set. LaFerrier hustling over for the ground ball. She will win it. LaFerrier able to beat 2 Lander defenders. And we'll work it back to Sydney Oniga. So Oniga and Teeple on the wing on the near side. It's Usher behind the cage. defended by Tiana Hall. Saints in an extra patient mode now. Once again up 11 goals, so they have the running clock on their side. Morton splits, goes right, shoots. Oh, a beautiful finish. It looks like they called the shooting space first. This would be no goal, but that would have been the smoothest finishes that we've seen from anyone on this field. Lexi Morton just clinks one into the top left corner, but instead she'll have a free position. Let's see if she can do it again. Morton takes it in, fires top right, and scores. So Lexi Morton scored on the first one, then they say no goal, you need to take your free position. She says, no matter, I'll score anyways. For Morton, that's her second goal of the day to go along with 5 assists. She's been everywhere in her return to play. It's now 22-10. Flagler way out in front of the Bearcats. So we'll do it again. Tanksley and Sukan at the center circle. Just over 6 to play. The clock moving. Lander started to claw back just a little bit in the third quarter, but this fourth quarter has been all Saints. Tanksley works it back to herself. How about another draw control for Claudia Tanksley? Eva Stein's going to work it to Molly Sloan, and now it's Caitlin Trainer. And you all already know what I'm going to say. Caitlin Trainer takes it herself, and it's a successful clear for the Saints. Here's Pinder. Acts like she's going to dodge, works it out to Morton. Morton coming down, fires. Shot just high, but Anaga was there to back it up. Here's Pinder, flips it. LaFerrier. Sweeping has Usher. Usher with a nice face dodge, bounces one just wide left of the cage. Anaga is there once again to back it up. So now about 4:45 to play in regulation, about 25 on the shot clock. Morton works it to Virginia Fisher. Fisher takes it in. Looks like it's wide of the cage. It is. Had a bit of an angle there, just pulled it a little too much on the shot, but a nice attempt from Virginia Fisher. And Autumn Husky will take it herself the other way. Beats Sydney Anaga and Carly Teeple, so a successful clear for the Bearcats. Just over 4 to play here in regulation. It's Emmy Peterson. Splits left. Shoots and scores. Emmy Peterson doesn't care about the deficit. Peterson now with 5 goals on the day. Once again showing why she's the Gulf South Conference Player of the Week. And although the lead is insurmountable at this point, it's been a nice day for Emmy Peterson. So once again, the clock is running, just over 3:15 to play, ticking down. Tanksley and Sukan at the center circle with Pinder and LaFerrier outside for the Saints. It's Lauren Condon and Kate Weston, or excuse me, Izzy Olsen and Kate Weston for the Bearcats, but Ella Pinder with the draw control takes it into the offensive zone for the Saints. And they will just work on possessing the ball here and winding the clock. So for the Saints, assuming all things hold true and they end up winning this game, they will improve to 12-2 on the year. As Taylor Gendrick brings it in, has an opportunity. Looks like she was fouled as she was going in for that shot. So it'll be a free position for Taylor Gendrick. Gendrick takes it in. Nice save by Crosby. Guesses low and guesses correctly. So once again, can't say enough about the game Crosby's had. Flagler offensively has had a ton of opportunities, but the lead would be even worse if it wasn't for Crosby. Great defense by Figueres and Teeple. And Figueres is fouled. They're going to get Casey Bronco on that one. And they're going to say it's a green card going against Casey Bronco. So for the Saints, they'll be back in action a week from today as they take on Montevallo at 12 p.m. They'll be back at home against Alabama Huntsville, the Chargers, on April 13th at 5 p.m. That'll be the next time you see us here at Flagler Lacrosse Field. 1:15 to play. Flagler doesn't necessarily need to shoot. And it's Pinder, works it down to Gendrick. Now it's Usher, and Usher says, why not? I'll have another. So Tristan Usher with about 50 to play in regulation makes it 23-11. And at this point, it's just about over. We'll see if we can get another face-off off in this one. So about 16 on the clock. It looks like we will have enough time possibly for one last face-off, but the game will end with the score 23 for Flagler, Lander 11. So how about one more face-off, and for good measure, Claudia Tanksley's going to win one last draw, and the game is over. So Flagler wins their second straight. They improve to 11-2 on the season, 2-0 in Gulf South Conference play. For Lander, they fall to 1-1 in the conference, 5-6 overall. And the player of the game today had to be who else? Carly Teeple netted 9 goals on the contest. An impressive day from her. And the Saints will look to add to their undefeated conference record next Saturday against Montevallo. So this is where we leave you, folks. Once again, the score 23-11, Flagler with the win. For all of us here at Flagler,